I'm back.
Stores are lifestyle, she change. Down the lights, spread the dimes. Time this precious, your dreams can't settle. Godly thrones that be dancing, so lots. God ransom, don't come at all.
Hello everybody, this is Lexi with the Traditional Locs. It's so good to be back. I just realized this morning that I have not posted in over a year. Honestly, y'all pray for us in this channel. You know, I've just been thinking lately about what we should be doing moving forward. We've just lost a lot of momentum and drive to get content out. So if y'all could say a prayer for us, post below, give us some encouragement in the comments below, okay? Give us some encouragement. Let us know that y'all are still there watching and waiting for content. Just give us a little bit of a little push, a little boost of confidence that we should continue doing this, because some days, oh man, we just haven't been consistent. And yeah, but I'm trying to get back on it. You know, just let us know what you all think in the comments. Tell us what type of content you want to see us do. Ask us questions about our locks, just to kind of give us some ideas for how we should move going forward with the channel. Please, please, we need it. We need it. Lord knows we need it. So yeah, it's good to be back. I'm glad to be here with some updates. As y'all can see, these locks are locking and they're growing. Anyways, this video, I want it to just be an update video on what's been going on in my life since the last time you all saw me. But before we go any further, you know what I'm gonna do. Like I said already, comment down below. Go ahead and like this video. Show us some love, y'all. Subscribe to the channel. Add us on, follow us on Instagram if you already not on there. We are on Instagram still. We are on TikTok still. Both at the #2 Sisters Locked. And just show us some love. Show us some love. Give us some encouragement. I'll give you a second to do that. Great. So where have I been? Well, if you have been on our channel before and you've seen some of our previous videos, then you would know, based on some of my last videos, that I went to Guatemala for 6 months. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that was the last video that I posted on here. So yes, I went to Guatemala for 6 months for a study abroad experience, and I absolutely loved my time. So for those of you who don't know, I am a speech language pathologist. I work with precious, sweet children. And we just have more and more children and their families who speak Spanish as their primary language coming in. When I have had children in the past who speak Spanish, it's really hard to diagnose a language disorder or treat a language disorder when the child in the family does not speak English as their first language, even if there's an interpreter in the room. And so I had interests in learning to speak Spanish before. You know, we grew up near Miami, so we were taught Spanish in schools like pretty consistently from when we were very young. But I decided that after my fellowship, I didn't have a job lined up. I didn't have any responsibilities. And so I figured that this was the best time to go abroad and achieve my goal of being able to learn Spanish. Sí, valió la pena porque ahorita puedo hablar en español. Gracias a Dios, I can speak in Spanish. I still have a lot to learn, of course, just like in any language. But my goal was to be able to speak directly to my Spanish-speaking patients and their families in their language, Spanish. And now I'm able to do that. I'm back in the States now. I've been back for about 6 months and I have a job. I've been working at a hospital, in a children's clinic and a pediatric clinic. And it's been really nice to be able to see the results of my trip and the results of my goal. Last year this time I was already in Guatemala, but you know, last year, that was my goal. Was I said, okay, next year I want to be able to speak directly to my Spanish-speaking families in Spanish, and I've achieved that goal, and it's been really rewarding because it also helps me build rapport with my patients and their families. I like that when I am in sessions with the families, I can say, hey, if you want me to speak to your kids in Spanish just to help them boost communication in Spanish as well, I can do that. So my trip was totally worth it. I went to Guatemala. Like I said, I was in Antigua, Guatemala, and I had the best time ever. When I was saying that I was gonna go to Guatemala, there were a lot of people who would say, Guatemala! Yes, Guatemala, because unfortunately here in the States, there are a lot of negative perceptions about other countries in general, but there are specific countries where we have more negative perceptions because of the political stuff that's going on in our country right now, which really sucks because then there are groups of people who get negative labels. And I went to Guatemala because I had a couple of coworkers during fellowship who had gone there back in like the early 2000s, and they said they loved it and it was great. And when I did my research online, there were a lot of travelers who liked it and felt safe there. And so I said, okay, I'll go. And I did. I picked Guatemala as the country. I went on Google and I literally just Googled Spanish language schools, and I signed up for classes, signed up to stay with homestay families, and I got on a plane and I went there by myself. Yes, I did go there by myself, and it was one of the best things that I've ever done in my life. Guatemala does have its issues, I'm sure. I mean, we see about it, but it's not the whole country that has these problems. And where I stayed in Antigua was a very, very, very safe area. I would walk around at night by myself as a woman and felt perfectly safe, and felt safer than I do in a lot of other cities in the States here. It was a beautiful city. I could see the volcanoes from where I was. There was one big volcano in the middle where you can see like the view of the volcano from like anywhere in the city, called Volcanoes. And also there were two other volcanoes in the distance. One was Acatenango and the other was Fuego. And I actually hiked up Acatenango. That's an excursion that a lot of people do when they go to Guatemala. I hiked up Acatenango. That's an inactive volcano, but it's next to Fuego, which is an active volcano. And I hiked up with a group. We spent the night up there and we just watched the view of Fuego erupting every 15 to 20 minutes all night long. And it was beautiful. It's a very, very hard hike, but it was totally worth it. Would I say that I would do it again? I probably would. You can check out the video of my trip. I'll actually put the link to my Instagram post in the bio here. It was a great excursion. I had so much fun. So yeah, you have these beautiful views of the volcanoes. And then the city is a colonial city. So they have cobblestones on the streets. It's just a beautiful vibe. So when I was there, I took Spanish classes. I stayed with a homestay with a couple different homestay families throughout my 6 months there. And I also volunteered at a local project where I was able to work with kids and babies. And so I got to practice my Spanish professionally because I was volunteering, giving like suggestions to the mothers on like ways to like increase language development and feeding with their babies and their kids. And so I got to practice a lot of the language that I was going to start using here in my job when I got back to the States. So I did that. I also took salsa. Let me stop. Anyways, yes, you can see my salsa videos too on my personal page. I'll drop the link below, like I said, so you all can take a look. So yeah, I lived it up and I had the best time ever. Guatemalans are some of the warmest people that I've ever met in my life. Oh my goodness. They loved on me so well. And I went to Costa Rica for a month when I was in undergrad. And I loved it there. I thought the Costa Ricans were super friendly, definitely friendlier than Americans. But being in Guatemala makes the Costa Ricans look mean. They're not mean, but Guatemalans are just so warm and they took such good care of me. I had teachers who, like one day I told a teacher that I was craving an egg salad sandwich and I couldn't find egg salad there. And she asked me like, how do you make it? And I kind of explained it to her. And the next day she brought me egg salad that she made at her house with some bread and just, oh, I know you were really missing this from home, from your country. And here, I made some for you. Or I had a teacher who one day, like I got chocolate on my jacket and she was like, oh, I'll take this home for you and I'll wash it and I'll bring it back. Like the people there are so warm and just so friendly and they're willing to do things and share with people. You know what I mean? Even the people who might not have had much by American standards were just like, oh, here, let me feed you. Let me do this. Oh, I'm vegetarian. They're like, oh, you're vegetarian? Oh, no problem. I'll look up a recipe and I'll make it for you. They were just so sweet. And they love me as a Black woman. They loved me. They loved me. They loved me. Black women, we need to travel more. I never felt as appreciated in the States as I did while I was in Guatemala. Okay, I would walk up and down the street and they'd be like, la morena, la morena linda, que hermosa la morena. Oh my gosh. And I know it can be weird for us to have attention drawn to, based on like our Blackness, but listen, when it's done in like a very positive way, you realize, you know what, I do have beautiful skin. Oh yes, they loved my locks. In Spanish, they call them rastas. And they were like, oh, las rastas, me encantan las rastas, me encantan tus rastas. And I'd be like, oh yeah. Y'all, they loved me and I loved them. And it was so much fun. The culture was beautiful. I loved the music. I loved the food. I could just talk to anybody on the street, literally, and they would just have a conversation with me. It's nice seeing the kids playing outside and on the streets. I feel like in the States, we don't see that as often as you used to back in the day. Everybody knows their neighbors. They're playing music out loud on the weekends. They're gathering together with their families. It was just such a beautiful culture to be a part of. And I'm glad that I ended up there for my 6-month-long immersion experience. And so it was so much fun. So I've been back in the States for about 6 months. I got a job back in Portland, Oregon. So I'm officially a PNW girly. My license and everything has changed. So I'm officially a resident here in the state of Oregon. I'm excited to be back. I'm gonna do some updates on like my lock journey. I'm officially 4 years locked now. I'm almost June, July, August, September, October. I'll be 4.5 years locked soon. That's so crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Stay tuned because we'll be coming up with some videos. I'll do some updates. I'll let you all know what products I've been using lately, what my routine looks like now, and all of that. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to give us some comments. Let us know what type of content you'd like to see from us going forward. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and also follow us on our other platforms. See you next time. Bye.